If you guys came from Flow 11, welcome back, and if you just came here for Flow 12, hello everyone, Ethereal here with another commentary Abyss video. So, new Flow 12, new 4.1 Spiral Abyss reset, and as you can see in the background, we're running a double Hydra Hu Tao team on the first half, and the second half is going to be a Raiden Hyper Carry. So, the new enemy, the Millennial Pearl Seahorse, you know, despite being a seahorse, the freaking roaring effect really reminds me of like a dragon. In fact, the way that it was designed kind of reminds me of a monster called Kirin from Monster Hunter World, which I have played that game like quite extensively for a little bit. Oh, cat, hi cat, what are you doing? Yeah, I just have a cat here right now. So funny enough, like, why am I running Candice here? As you can see, I do have a Constellation 6 Candice. She is one of my waifus, so she is triple crown. Because I wanted to consider the possibility of, yeah, that great burst for me. I wanted to consider the possibility of running Xingqiu with like a Hyper Bloom team on the second half, but as I look at the footage, I realized I didn't actually use Hyper Bloom for the second half, so it is quite a shame. But hey, for any Yelan owners out there who is not like, I have C2 Yelan, so most people can't relate, but any C0 Yelan users who happen to have like a Constellation 6 Candice, if you want a decent enough, well, if you want a character that can boost the Hydro application in the team without needing to use maybe Xingqiu or anyone else, and you want a double Hydro slot, C6 Candice is definitely the choice for you. So this half Raiden Hyper, you guys will see the builds at the end of the video, but essentially I have a C2 Raiden. She has a crown burst. I do plan to triple crown her, but unfortunately I do not have any crowns available at the moment. I'm still trying to get the level 25 reward from the Fountain of Lucine, so that I can actually, I think I'm planning to either double crown Raiden first. I think I'll probably work on Raiden first before the likes of Zhongli and Ganyu, which is kind of a low priority for now. So yeah, freaking C2 Raiden. Why I pull for C2 is quite simple actually. If you guys have been here for a while, my Raiden started off being C0, and then I continued spending all my pulls in the original Raiden banner in 2.1, and I got lucky once. I think I won 50-50 once and I got C1 Raiden. So when her rerun came around, I think is it the second time around or the first rerun, I don't quite remember, I was like, you know what, I have 70 to 80 pulls, I may as well try my luck with 50-50, and if I don't get C2 Raiden, at least I can guarantee my next 5-star. And lo and behold, I got lucky and got C2 Raiden, which I do regret a bit, but maybe not so much, because I wanted C2 Raiden because I know how strong she is with Constellation 2. Like, she gains like a 30 to 40% damage increase, and there are certain abysses like the Consecrated Beast Abyss where like I just didn't want to deal with the annoying enemies in the content. Like, if I go against the Weenut or any annoying enemies, I'm gonna be like, alright, let me get C2 Raiden and get a crack Hu Tao so that any difficult content to me is just trivialized. And she's been helpful for that case basically for like a long time. So if you guys want C2 Raiden and you want to see how the performance is like with a freaking R5 catch, which I think a majority of people don't even bother fishing, but for those who do, well, there you go. So yeah, this half, I don't know why we have a bunch of lizards. I actually had to go look up, I think, the Kitchen Main's guide for Hu Tao, because after 2 and 1C combos, right, for any C1 Hu Tao owners or any Hu Tao owners in general, the third charge attack will cost like a freaking dash cooldown thing, which gets a bit awkward. So what I do here is like I do an N1C, 2 N1Cs, and then I do two jump cancels, and then I think, no, 2 dash cancels and 1 jump cancel. So that's what I've been doing, and I could say it feels good, because you know me, I'm a technical player. I consume a lot of meta content, and I would like to play the game to the best of my ability, so that any guides that I make and anything that I do, at least I have like the qualifications for that. So this half we have a Coppelia instead of Copius, whatever the hell his name is called. He's the Anemo variant. I don't know what her mechanics are. Basically, like when I ran Raiden Hyper, I basically used the team with the intent of not having to learn any mechanics. My Raiden's almost dead, but luckily I skillfully dodged that. I think like she has this Anemo kind of thing that's reducing her overall damage taken. Maybe there's something to do with those 3 freaking things swirlings outside of the arena. Maybe you have to like cause a reaction to break those to remove the thing. I didn't do that because, I mean, look at the amount of time that I have. And I somehow got that achievement, which is apparently like the new Challenger series that they introduced, I believe, in this patch, which I think the achievement is about letting her swirl every single possible element or swirling you multiple times or something like that, which is like, you know, it's whatever. Like look at that, it's already gone. And yeah, that's just no-brainer. I guess if you want to care about mechanics, maybe you can go look up the wiki, but if you want to brute force it like me, like I did here, you can just kind of do whatever. But generally the first half, I don't think there's anything crazy. It's just the lizards and like 1 or 2 enemies, which is nothing insane or anything. So if you can clear the first half well, the second half is not going to be that much of an issue. And for the last one, I think for some reason they put like 1 Mirror Maiden here, and I think they put the 2 new Cryo and the 2 new Operatives, which are the new enemy types. And as you can see here, the Mirror Maiden, before she gets her mirrored freaking state, right, which she does by summoning the 3 mirror areas, if you can somehow perma-stun her like this, she can never gain the, you know, resistance to interruption. The Cryo Operatives work a bit differently, I believe, because at a certain point, they have like a ability where after they get staggered a certain number of times, they just like, by default, blink and do this shooty thing. And apparently when they're low, they're supposed to apply a Bond of Life, which is meant to do a lot of damage, but it's not that much of a concern because from my experience, I think they have just as much health as the Mirror Maiden. That was the PP slide, as you can see, because if you do a charge attack before the 7-second timer is up and use your burst immediately after exiting, you can actually kind of like let Hu Tao snapshot the burst infused state so that your burst can actually do more damage. So second half, Raiden Hyper, we have the new the base drop Skrillex machine, aka the gravity boy. So I don't really know what he does. All I really know is that he basically makes it so that he decreases the gravity so that you can jump in order to dodge all that. To be honest, I should have like did a Raiden plunge because I'm sure my C2 Raiden can do a lot of damage. In fact, I think I kind of messed up a bit in the previous run, which is already edited out. So yeah, that part's already cut. But I only had to do 1 retry. Otherwise, I don't actually know what he does. I just know it's one of those Fontaine bosses that have a gimmick where, oh, you can use this element, this Arca mechanic, and hit the right one, then you'll stun him, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna run C2 Raiden and invalidate all mechanics. And to be honest, I like the fact that they don't force us to run Fontaine characters, especially against this kind of enemies, because it's like, it's not like you gain that much of an advantage even if you play around the mechanic. And otherwise it's, yeah, and it's just gonna get deleted. I find it funny because his hitbox is actually upstairs, so you can see like the 200k above. So, well, yeah, that's it. Easy. So first half team build, Tenacity Zhongli, you've probably seen it. I haven't really changed anything, so there's really nothing to say here. I think the C2 Yelan and especially the C6 Candice is probably more interesting because Yelan is one of my waifus, so she's triple crown. She has like 7140 and R4 5 because R5 is on Faruzan. She's running some pretty decent 4 emblem, and I'm using a HP circlet because my crit damage circlet doesn't actually give her that much damage. And this is a 4 Noblesse Favonius Candice. I'm running an ER Sans because if I don't run an ER Sans, I'll never get her burst back, and if you want to get her Hydro application, you need a lot of ER to get that done. And one of my best characters, C1R1 Hu Tao with Homa, running full Gilded because with good substats, you're not going to be losing that much damage, so you know, it is what it is. And then, yeah, because I thought to myself, I may as well just run Hu Tao, right? These are my 2 strongest teams right now, Raiden Hyper and Hu Tao Double Vape. And Raiden, her crit rate is a bit nerf from the previous iterations, but I believe she gains a bit more ER with a different circlet and your C2 in Crown Burst. And because of that, I think I put the numbers in the calculator and I believe the damage is about the same because she does convert a portion of her... She converts her energy recharge into electro damage bonus, which is kind of okay. And other than that, all the builds are still the same as always. This is the new 4 Instructor Bennett, so the overloaded damage caused by the team should be pretty decent. And I guess it'll help Kazuha a bit. This is my slightly improved Sarah, so 5111 with a bit of ER and R3 Sackbow. I did get this freaking Electro Grobert recently. I recently swapped my official to whatever the hell. Oh, you know what? It's already 8 seconds. I don't have time. Like, subscribe, more commentary next patch. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.